Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Welcome back for our 45th episode?
Is it really 45?
Something like that.
Wow.
If you've listened to all the episodes, you've wasted like 2 days of your life.
If you've been involved in the making of these episodes, you've wasted far greater amounts of time.
Because all the bad stuff gets cut.
That's true. Not only does that get cut, but the prep that goes into it, like watching movies like The Fantastic Four from 1994, the We Wish You Were Turtles Christmas. What was the other piece of filth that you had me watch recently that I just absolutely hated and was a waste of my time?
The Ewok one?
Oh, yeah, that thing sucked too.
But here we are, we're back again in the basement of this palatial estate.
Yes, and why is it so cold down here? Are you keeping meat down here?
Zone heating, I just turned it on. It'll get warm by the end of the show.
Oh, great, just in time for me to leave and go out to my cold car.
So what's Gucci with you?
Let's
try anything?
Oh, well, I'd say stop. I appreciate the effort to be hip, but no, I'm triggered.
Jesus.
No, you can call me Jared. Call me my own public name.
I never will.
Oh.
As we've established.
That's a good point. What's good with me? I really don't know.
That Super Bowl thing still.
Oh, yeah, the Patriots in the Super Bowl this coming week. That's awesome.
I don't know that was this week. I texted someone. I'm like, hey, let's do something on Sunday. They're like, no.
Yeah, okay, so you need to get your head out of your backside there and understand that there's not much going on Sunday except for the Super Bowl.
It's my day off. That's my social day.
That's America's day off, man.
I thought that was Monday if you worked at some companies.
Well, I mean, it's the least productive day in the country, the day after the Super Bowl. Like billions of dollars of profit and industry are lost on that day because people are like hungover, not wanting to work because they're up late watching the Super Bowl the night before.
Go sign up for our Patreon.
Yes!
Sooner rather than later, I'll be putting a new show up on there right a ways before it gets released on iTunes. I have 4 episodes cut, ready to go.
Really?
I just need to get an intro. I'm just going to yell into the internet.
Hey, internet people. What is the concept of the new show?
I'm not saying yet.
Oh, will you tell me off the air?
If I remember.
Oh. You can tell me now and you can cut it.
So much editing. I already do the editing. Why do you add to my editing?
Well, now it's too late. You've come down the rabbit hole.
No. I'm moving on to the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Hey, guess what I left at the store?
Your notes?
All my notes.
Oh, goodness.
So I got to go some ones off memory, and then I'll just
make some news up.
Scroll. No, I'm not going to make news up.
No fake news here?
This is all legit the news.
Some alternative facts?
No, okay. Here's an alternative fact for you. John Hurt's dead.
That's not alternative fact. That's the real deal.
Oh, okay. That sucks, though. It was cancer.
Cancer does suck, period.
They got him only 77.
Well, I mean, 77 is still a pretty good. I mean, talent. Unbelievable talent. I mean,
I think it was pancreatic cancer that got him. And he was diagnosed like 2 years ago.
Ollivander in the Harry Potter movies.
I was going to go something more like The Elephant Man.
That too.
Or Man for All Seasons.
You had that.
Or Indiana Jones and the Crystal of the Kingdom Skull.
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I know. I was already down that rabbit hole.
Well, last time we tried to go down a rabbit hole, you said, no, we're moving on.
I usually do. The first Alien movie. More recently, Doctor Who a few years back. He was in... Oh, that train movie. Snowpiercer. He was really good in Snowpiercer that I loved. Like, is it Harry Potter? But hell of a talent. That was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
And whenever it's cancer, that's always a little bit worse.
Yeah, I mean, is it ever really good, though? I mean, that's like, he was in a lot of great movies. V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's great in that.
What else? Hellboy.
Yeah, a little bit.
He was in Hercules with The Rock.
Either way, great actor. He'll be missed, but that's just kind of a bummer. And while I'm speaking of kind of depressing news, famed comic artist Bernie Wrightson has officially retired, and not for happy reasons.
Oh, why is he retiring?
He worked at basically every single company in the world. He's worked forever.
What are some things I might know him for?
He's best known for co-creating Swamp Thing.
Oh, I like Swamp Thing.
but unfortunately, following some brain surgery, he just doesn't have the proper faculties to work anymore.
That is upsetting.
And for a lot of, and I'll just say this is kind of a general blanket statement, is a thing that people can do. I'm sure a lot of people know about it, but I'll say it anyway. I'll probably say it again. Most comic creators, they're all freelance guys. They, especially the old school guys, are completely left out in the cold insurance-wise and might not have anything. So there's a website, the Hero Initiative, that helps comic creators who don't have any kind of insurance to help support medical bills and things of that nature. And they do a lot of cool charity stuff and a lot of original art that you can buy and stuff like that. But whenever this kind of stuff comes up, I'll always mention the Hero Initiative is a good place to go if you want to help support, creators who don't have the means to support themselves. Well, that was fun.
Wow.
I guess we can keep on with the depressing news.
Is there anything good?
I have some good news.
Okay.
I don't remember because now I have to scroll through the internet.
Oh, boy.
Those are the ones I just knew off the top of my head. The Flash. Bad news for The Flash.
Oh, goodness.
Originally, the script was done by Chris Lord, Phil Miller, guys who did the Lego movie, and now they're doing the Han Solo movie. Like, they left to go direct that. The Flash is getting a page 1 script rewrite.
That's never a good thing.
No, so right now the movie's gone through 3 or 4 separate directors, and the entire script has been scrapped.
Go new story, going right back to page 1.
And they should, this is a movie that should have been going into production in the next couple of months to hit their release date. That definitely won't happen now.
So, again, DC...
Nothing good is happening for The Flash. Oh, we'll get to more bad DC news.
Is there anything, like, good DC news?
No. Not this week, I don't think.
Like, DC is, like, looking to catch a break, and they can't do it.
Production began on a lot of stuff this week. A big week for, I know it's a weird thing, but whatever, we'll mention them all anyway. Black Panther, production began this week.
Yes.
Han Solo prequel, production began this week. Star Trek Discovery.
Production began
This week. A lot of stuff coming. I'm not going to complain about that.
No. I think it's, like we've talked about a couple of times on the show. It looks like it has the potential to be a good year. It has the potential to have some really good entertainment value out there.
Yeah, I mean, the bubble hasn't burst yet, and I say keep riding that wave until DC crashes and burns completely and has to restart their entire universe.
I feel like that's coming sooner than later.
It might. This might be the year that kills it.
Well, I mean,
as long as,
you gotta hold out some hope for the Wonder Woman movie, and hold out a little bit of hope here for the Justice League movie. I feel like if those two flop, then they're in real, like, almost unrecoverable territory.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they gave any time in between the Christopher Nolan Batman movies and restarting their universe. It was literally the next year.
And the Christopher Nolan Batman movies weren't terrible.
Yeah, they were their own flavor, but that was literally 2012, the last one, and then 2013 we got Man of Steel. It's not like they waited a long time to reboot that universe.
No.
The actress, whose name I'm not going to look up, who's playing Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy, is going to be part of the Infinity War cast, leading more credence to the almost definite sign that the Guardians will be showing up in that movie.
You would think that...
At this point, I feel like that would be the world's, like, it's supposed to be a big deal when they announce it, but until we see footage of them all together, it's going to be like, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You're going to combine those two popular things into one popular thing. That's basically been your formula for success so far.
And it hasn't not worked.
Yeah. Avatar, moving forward, they're going to start their motion capture, finally, in August.
Good for them.
It's only been 8 years since that movie.
Can I make a quick observation about your coasters?
You keep playing with the coasters. What?
Well, I'm just looking at the bottom. It says not a toy.
No, it's a coaster.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know why they would have to specify that this glass coaster is not a toy.
So you don't hit your sibling with it.
Well, the art on it's pretty badass. I'm holding one that has it's Boba Fett, but you can see Han Solo and frozen in carbonite. It's pretty cool, but it's not a toy. Just so you know.
I have so many coasters in this house. I brought some downstairs.
Are the other ones toys?
I hope not.
Okay. Oh, the big Marvel announcement. I did see what that was last week.
Oh, yeah. A game.
Yes.
By the people who do the Final Fantasy games.
But it's Infinity War based.
It's Avengers based. There was just that quick teaser trailer. Peter Capaldi, the current Doctor in Doctor Who, announces this will be his last season.
They're going through Doctors pretty quickly now.
This isn't that... He got 3 seasons, and that seems to be about the average overall. There's some guys going way back to Tom Baker who did 7, but most of them only do between 3 and 5. But he does feel like relatively new. It feels like we just went through all the news of like, who will the new Doctor be?
Well, now we're gonna have to find out again.
Yeah, it's a pretty regular occurrence.
Well, I mean, he is the Time Lord.
One of your favorites, Terry Hatcher, is going to be on Supergirl.
I do like Terry Hatcher.
They respect what you came before. They got all the people from Lois and Clark. They got the old Supergirl over there. They're grabbing all kinds of people. People who are on Smallville.
We're gonna get Dean Cain.
He's already there.
Oh, cool.
He's done half a dozen episodes or so.
Oh, wow. Maybe I should start watching it.
I enjoy it. I watched it before you got here.
Oh, you were also watching King Kong when I got here.
And then we watched more Kong.
Yes, we did.
And then, of course, the big news, which I was wrong about. Affleck's not directing Batman.
He's not?
No.
Who is?
It's more of that up in the air DC stuff.
Oh, no.
Why are you playing with the coasters? They're not a toy.
Sorry.
It specifically says they're not a toy. We've been recording for 12 minutes. That's all you've done.
I mean, sorry.
Is play with the not a toy.
I mean, I'm just being anti-establishment right now. I'm being a rebel. I am rebelling.
Well, that line wasn't in that movie.
Oh, that's what rebels do, don't they? They rebel?
No, that wasn't in there.
I know it wasn't in the movie.
But yeah, Affleck's out. He's still going to produce and star, and I guess he's still probably going to get a writing credit. I bet he'll get a story credit.
Story by?
Yeah, because story usually means, well, we paid you, and then we scrapped everything you did.
Yeah. You gave us an idea.
Just the way Zach Penn had a story credit in the first Avengers movie.
Reasonable. Fair.
Because his stuff got scrapped, but he got paid, so.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be one of those deals. Yeah, he says he's still involved, and Warner Brothers, they both put out statements. So they're like, we agree with each other, and it's all fine, and we're moving forward, and there's definitely nothing wrong here.
Lies.
I feel like Warner Brothers needs to stop the leak of all information about their movies.
Their NDAs are not very good.
Flash is getting totally rewritten. We've lost 4 directors there. We lost our Batman director. A Batman director. This is a franchise that prints money.
Yes. Our Batman director, who is playing Batman,
who's Oscar Award winning writer, director, and actor. Actually, I don't know the actor one.
I don't think he's ever won for actor.
But
I'll fact check the show.
At least writing and director.
Yes.
No, he definitely doesn't have a actor one.
He's probably won awards for being an actor.
Yeah, a Razzie.
It's an award.
He's up for a Razzie this year for Batman.
Oh, for Suicide Squad or for Batman v Superman?
Batman v Superman.
Ugh.
But yeah, I know I called that when there are like rumors that he might leave. I'm like, absolutely no way he's leaving that. If he's co-writing the script and producing it, like, no way you'd leave that. I was wrong.
Let's see. List of awards and nominations received by Ben Affleck. He's been nominated for 82 awards and has won 45 of them. Of the major awards, original screenplay for Good Will Hunting and Best Picture as producer for Argo. I'm looking for...
Can he get a director one?
Best director for Argo was a Golden Globe.
Oh, I thought he won director for Argo. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. I'm wrong about all kinds of Affleck facts.
Outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture for Shakespeare in Love and for Argo from the Screen Actors Guild.
Shakespeare in Love.
He did. Oh wow, Golden Raspberries. Let's see. He's won for worst actor in Daredevil.
Reindeer Games.
Nope. Is it Giggly?
I never saw it.
Geely and Paycheck. He's won worst actor.
I don't remember Paycheck. What was that?
All in 2003. 2003 was not a good year for...
I do not remember Paycheck.
He was nominated for worst screen combo with Jennifer Lopez and Liv Tyler for Jersey Girl.
Jersey Girl gets a bad rap.
The Razzie Redeemer Award, from going for Razzie winner to Oscar Darling for the year he rebounded in 2014 with Argo and Gone Girl.
He did before that, The Town, when he did The Town.
He was nominated for Best Director for Satellite Award for The Town.
Either way, Affleck's out. He's in, but he's out.
There you go.
This doesn't sound good.
You know what it sounds like to me? Typical DC.
Look, at first, I get that their formula, you had to go into it and be like, we need to do something different than what Marvel did. At this point, just copy. I mean, just steal liberally because you are not doing well on your own.
No, and what Marvel's doing is working. And I think what DC is doing is not working because the formula is there, it's established.
They're just trying to do it differently. Like, we got to go backwards. Like, we're going to do a team and then split it up. And
they're kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, though. Because if they just copy liberally, people are like, well, they're just trying to be like Marvel.
That's fine. Those have been, like...
They're unoriginal.
the worst they've been is kind of okay, versus the best DC's done has been, well, I've seen worse. Like, at this point, screw it. Stop trying.
Go for it.
But I guess that's it for the news. It's a lighter news week.
Short news week. Well, you're going to get to the store tomorrow and you see all these notes and you'll be like, oh, man.
Oh, I forgot one of the things because it just came out earlier today.
What's that? The new Beauty and the Beast trailer?
I watched it.
It was good.
I'm not interested. I don't care
I know
for
that's
it.
not your thing, but...
I just don't get the point.
Of Beauty and the Beast?
We have one already. It looks like also the exact same one if they're doing something different.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be for, by and large, shot for shot.
Yeah, so I don't care. I like old hand-drawn animation.
True.
And if the story's already there, I don't...
You get some Ian McKellen, though, and some Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, but it was fine before. And if it's going to be the exact same thing, just with live action and CG, I'd rather take hand-drawn animation.
Yeah, there's something magical about the hand-drawn animation.
Looks like Black Manta is going to be in the Aquaman movie. So they're going to have Ocean Master and Black Manta, and ask anyone, there are no other no other Aquaman villains. That's it. They're using all of them right up front.
Get them out of the way.
I think they're just going like, look, we got to try and knock something out of the park. So we were just going to take his only two memorable villains and do something.
What are the chances that Aquaman is the one that knocks it out of the park and, like, revives DC? I want to say low.
No, it has a decent director on it.
But, like, what if, like, that's the movie that...
If that is great, go for it.
But Aquaman, who, like, everyone makes fun of Aquaman all the time.
Yeah.
Tell me somebody who doesn't make fun of Aquaman.
The problem with Aquaman, and I think I've probably said this before, is people try and go too extreme with him. Like, they try and go, like, oh, like, he was really terrible on the Super Friends, and that kind of ruined the character forever. Also, he has a terrible color scheme. That doesn't help.
Yeah.
So they try and make him too extreme, like, too badass. And when you get, like, the meanest looking dude around to play him, I mean, they're probably going to be they might fall into the category of we're trying to be too hardcore.
Like, you're going in the total opposite direction.
I'd like to see him ride a seahorse.
Like a regular seahorse, or like a
larger than life seahorse.
A badass seahorse.
Like a deep water seahorse that's never been discovered.
Until now.
He rides it.
Jacques Cousteau, that shit.
You know who else is doing a voice? So we got Ian McKellen doing Beauty and the Beast.
He's playing Cogsworth.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart's playing the poop emoji.
I'm conflicted.
No, don't be.
But I like Patrick Stewart.
They can do bad things. It's okay.
No, it's not.
It was a paycheck. I'm sure it was like 4 hours of his life.
That's true.
I
don't know. Maybe he brings a little bit of humor to it. Maybe he brings a little bit of funny to it.
No.
Well, there's always hoping. Why does he have to be the poop emoji? Why, Patrick?
Because they thought it'd be funny to get a classy voice with a stale piece of shit.
I don't know what to say. I'm kind of at a loss. Just when you think you know somebody.
They do like the Picard like face palm.
Yes, double face palm, which was reserved for Data. One of these just.
But I guess that'll do it for the news. Other things happened this week. They don't really matter.
Wow, it's a short news week. A lean week.
What else do you want me to give you?
Well, I feel like I gotta look and see if I can see any news, if there is any news to be seen.
There's other stuff out there. It's just not worth mentioning. It'd be really fast mentions.
Let's see. J.K. Rowling is trending. No, never mind.
She threw out a really funny tweet. Someone, I don't even know what the article is about, but someone said, like, I saw your article on Yahoo. Glad I saw it. Now I can burn all of the books and movies that I bought. She just went, like, well, the fumes will probably be toxic, and I already have your money, so you can borrow my lighter.
Yes.
Harsh, but funny.
Lord of the Rings is trending.
15-year anniversary.
Oh, yes.
Dominic Monaghan put on his Instagram. I guess a bunch of them went out to dinner.
Lego launched a safe social network for people under 13.
We don't need to do this. We're moving on.
Okay, fine.
We have topics.
All right.
We have a thing to talk about.
Let's do it.
We watched a movie, and it's time to do a review.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
Full spoilers. This came out in 1963. Also, I don't think the spoilers matter.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
This week, we are talking King Kong versus Godzilla, in honor of Kong coming out in just a few weeks.
You're excited.
About 6 weeks, yeah. And then after that, in 2020, we got a remake of this movie.
Well,
We're just hitting it 3 years ahead of time.
yes, we're being proactive.
Yeah. We're ahead of the game. The internet, wait till you see other people start reviewing this. You know this is original because I'm sure other people have done it.
Well, true, but
It's
still,
not like this is a hidden movie.
I wonder if they it was ever like on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I don't know if they ever did any of the Godzilla movies.
This one probably could have been done. It was entertaining. I had fun with it.
Small bits of trivia for both franchises. This is both the third movie in each franchise. Kong had King Kong and then Son of Kong, and then he went away for about 30 years. Godzilla had 2 movies, and then he's been away for 7 years. But the Kong continuity, throw it away, throw it in the garbage. They're not counting it. Godzilla, though, is tighter continuity. Last time we saw him, he was frozen in ice after his battle with Anguirus, and he's just been hibernating for 7 years.
Just chilling in the ice.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, all of the Godzilla movies, at least the earlier ones, would always have an English version done. So they'd bring in a bunch of English actors and just shoot a bunch of scenes that were
English speaking.
essentially every time just exposition scenes in every movie that there's English scenes.
Those were fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, because they're just guys talking to camera who aren't acting to anyone.
It was like
pretending to be like
straight up
newsrooms.
exhibit. And it was all like tell, don't show.
Yeah, they're like, these dumb American audiences won't understand our complex monster movie. We gotta lay it out.
They made unbelievable profit, by the way.
Did they?
I'm looking at this. The budget was 5 million yen, and it made 350 million yen in Japan, which is 200,000 US budget, 1.25 million at the box office.
So, to sum up this movie opens up, what do we got?
Well, we start at the United Nations.
Oh, we do. For some reason.
Again,
Why did we start there?
I think it was for the exposition.
Like for exhibition at the United
That's true.
Nations?
Well, yes.
Like Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. A 29-country battle royale.
Switzerland lost every time.
Oh, no, they stayed neutral. They just kind of like lurked on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, but when everyone bet on them, they didn't.
Yeah, well,
Go
you should
poorly.
know better than to bet on Switzerland. I mean, it's always going to be a tie.
Yeah, so we open at the United Nations. We cut to some news anchors who are describing.
Which is weird, like the United Nations news network. Like it's like some sort of like peaceful utopian future.
Yeah,
minus
but-
the fact that these guys are tearing the shit out of Japan.
But they're like, there's been some seismic activity recently. We're going to send a submarine to check it out.
Yes.
And then the submarine goes out. They're like, a bunch of ice has broken off.
And, like the
And-
water temperature's up to like 62.
Yeah.
And like an Arctic current. Fishing vessels have gone missing. So they find this glowing iceberg.
Oh, I thought I was going to let you do your little joke.
Oh, they were ahead of current science at the time.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
There you go.
Glad we paused for that. But yeah, they get to this iceberg, immediately crash into it. They're like, I think we hit an iceberg.
Yeah.
Like, yes, idiot. Your sub is sticking half into it.
Yes, exactly. Like the Titanic's like, yeah, you screwed up.
Literally half of the sub is in an iceberg. They're like,
Yeah.
periscope's not working. Like, yes,
I also
idiot.
I also like the release the emergency signal, and it's like it looks like the submarine is peeing itself. It
It's just a
stains
bunch-
the
yeah.
water yellow.
But you remember when I said Godzilla had been frozen in ice since his fight with Anguirus?
Oh yeah, found him.
Oh, he busts out.
Yeah, he's like, it's time. It's Godzilla time.
And then just tears an iceberg apart.
Oh yeah, and then
And-
very quickly he finds his way to shore.
Yeah, they're like, he's making a beeline to Tokyo. Because we have our news anchors to fill
Yes.
us in on all of the important life details of Godzilla.
Which, by the way, for what this took place, like it was made in the 60s.
Yeah, the 63.
So you kind of just like are impressed. By the way, I always like how they're going to the satellite, and it looks like the
spaceship.
space station from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I think I'm reusing the same shot. They do that a lot. There's a lot of recycled shots in this movie.
Yeah. Well, again, did you see the budget? $200,000.
Then they pump these out. These take them a couple of months to do.
No, I couldn't tell.
But we cut to a TV producer who's just a fantastic, like, wormy little.
Oh yeah, he's
awful
got
man.
that.
He's hilarious. It's like that guy who will take credit for anything in the world, but he's just sleazy and awful.
Oh yeah, total just like caricature.
They've heard rumors of a monster out on this island, and they don't call it Skull Island, but I'm just going to call it that because it's going to be easier on me.
Okay.
They hear rumors of because I think they wanted to reuse this island to like make it a bigger part of the Godzilla franchise, but they never come back to it.
They never go back to that island.
There's a sequel to this movie, King Kong Escapes, where they build a robot Kong, where he's just there to dig a hole, essentially. It's not fun. Don't watch that one. This one's fun.
This one's fun.
King Kong Escapes is really boring. If you want to watch a robot dig a hole, and then they discover the original Kong is better at digging holes,
Well,
that's really the plot.
that's a terrible plot. Does
That's not a
Godzilla
good
show up
movie.
at all?
No.
Oh.
They had a lot of spin-off franchises. Rodan had I guess he had a movie before all this, but Mothra had spin-offs, all kinds of good stuff.
Mothra.
Either way, I'm getting off track. So they hear rumors that there's this monster on Skull Island, so they're like, hey, you two comedians?
They're like the typical like Japanese movie like sidekicks.
Yeah, these guys are just
They're like
over the top, slapsticky, physical humor.
they're like the guys
Except
like
it's only
from-
funny because it's not funny.
what's the Kurosawa movie that George Lucas kind of based
Seven Samurai?
Yes. Kind of based C3PO and R2D2 after. It's like the two
They're just idiots.
Yes, pretty much. But
So
it's kind of like told through their like vision, like they're kind of like the main characters.
So Godzilla's just trudging along, making his way towards Tokyo, and these two other idiots
Are on their way to go
to
get
Skull
this,
Island.
yes.
And they get there, and things get weird.
Oh, things get trippy.
So the original Kong, not exactly known for its racial sensitivity,
No.
but this movie takes it to a whole new level. How would you describe it?
I would say that it was Asian actors in blackface.
That's exactly what it was. Except they did more than the face because none of them were wearing shirts.
That's a good point. They were, well, except for the women. The women were wearing tops.
Barely.
Kind of.
And they just refer to them as like the savages.
Yes, that was a little bit over the top.
And they also treat it like it's also stereotypical, like Native Americans. He just goes up to them and goes, how? Like,
Yeah.
what?
The guy calls him the chief.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of Japanese actors painted black.
Pretty insensitive stuff, actually, all things told and
But with some
considered.
funny headdresses.
Yes.
Very colorful.
Very, like, they wanted to, like, try and be Samoan, I felt like.
I don't think they were trying
Like,
very hard.
It was very much, I called them,
I think
I called them the indigenous people, and you corrected me and said, no, they've called them savages. They've been identified.
So the savages just want to kill these Asian invaders. Oh, we forgot to mention the most important part. The other thing that's on this island that our United Nations TV anchor told us about
Or these berries.
these giant red berries that get you high.
But they're non-addictive.
Yeah, they don't mess around. They're like non-addictive narcotic berries that are only grown in this one spot of the world, and everyone wants these drug berries.
Well, I mean, non-addictive narcotics.
So they're there for the drug berries, and they're there for an unknown monster.
It sounds like a weekend out in Hollowell.
But they don't. So the savages are gonna like, no, we're just gonna kill you.
No, but what they do is they like harvest the berry and create this juice to give to Kong.
Well, no, we're skipping over the whole how they make friends.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Speaking of
I think
carcinogens and narcotics,
there must have been a weird sponsorship in this movie that we're unaware of. So all of the savages are gonna kill our like D-grade Laurel and Hardy.
wow.
And
Wannabe Thelma and Louise.
in the way that they talk, the savages, I don't know what I'm gonna call them, but the way they convince them to like not kill them and go along
The
to help,
island people, maybe?
yeah, to like help them capture this unknown god, is by breaking out a few packs of cigarettes.
Yeah, they got like cartons of cigarettes, and they're handing them out to everybody.
And they are grabbing at them like there's no tomorrow.
And they're all lighting up.
I don't know where they all got the matches immediately, but literally everyone is lighting up a cigarette. And like the two Asian guys who are there just start like laughing to each other, just go, they're all smoking now.
Yeah.
Like,
Who says that?
So some tobacco company had a stake in this movie.
But the most disturbing part, there's like this little kid,
maybe 4 years old.
and he like tugs on their shirt, gives them 2 cigarettes. He's like,
Well,
and
no,
he
he
like
gives-
pantomimes like,
He pantomimes smoking. He's like, hey.
and he's like, don't tell your mother. So they hand him 2 cigarettes, and his mother comes and takes one and lights it up.
Yeah, you think like she's taking it like indignant, like how dare you give that child a cigarette? She's like, hey, you don't need 2.
I need mine.
Like, mom needs her smokes.
Yeah. Listen, it's not every day that the nice people from Japan come over and give me some narcotics.
So this
Some nicotine.
4-year-old Asian painted black is just puffing away. The 60s were a different time, man.
They were, man. They were.
So they go, everyone has a nice Nick buzz going on, and they decide they're going to go hunt Kong.
Yes, they don't get very far into the island, actually.
No, they beat up a lizard, like a real lizard.
Yeah, the guy like swings it around his
It's like
head
an
and
iguana.
throws it.
He
Yeah.
just throws an iguana, and then they shoot it. Did you notice they shot it? It was real, like,
Yes,
off camera.
really
Like, bam!
close to the guy's head.
But they hear Kong roar, and one of them is complaining about his corns.
Oh yeah,
He won't shut up about his corns.
His corns hurt him when monsters are nearby.
And he keeps saying corns. He says it like 20 times, like, my corns.
Meanwhile, back in Japan,
Is anything happening? Or is Godzilla, like, he gets to land?
he gets to land and he destroys a military installation.
Immediately. They roll out like 20 tanks, and Godzilla
And they're
just
like,
atomic
time
breaths
to
all
time
of
to
them.
evacuate. And they're like, the United Nations be like, let's go check in with whoever in the province or in Japan. He goes, it is not going well here.
Acting to no one.
He's like, he looks at it, he's like, it is not going as we had hoped. please evacuate. And then we meet this random couple.
Oh, I don't even care about them.
Yeah, there's like a random side couple and like this random, like, there's been a plane crash and there's only been several. And he's like, I didn't get on the plane. In fact, my boss made me work overtime, so I missed the plane. Which, by the way, I would give him like Boss of the Year award. Thanks for making me work overtime, which at the time I was really pissed off, but I'm alive, so thank you.
They go back to Skull Island, and they've given up the Kong pursuit because the guy's corns hurt.
But don't worry.
But they're like, hey, you little kid.
Go get some of the drug juice.
His corns hurt. Go. He needs that berry juice. So this kid runs away to a hut where they just are He runs off to the berry distillery.
Yes, pretty much.
And gathers up a bunch
the Shine
of it.
Shack.
But while he's in there,
giant octopus just shows up out of nowhere.
Just to get high. It's not there for any other reason than to drink the juice. This narcotic juice.
At which point, like
and he does, and he drinks it all. And then he kind of mellows out.
Then the island people throw a ton of spears at him.
This is also a real octopus compared to everything else that's a puppet.
And they shoot guns at him, and then they throw this like sparkler at him.
It doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
guess who shows up?
Well, you were like, it's dynamite. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's just like
it's just
throwing fuse wire at the guy.
It's just a sparkler. And so while this octopus is getting high, King Kong shows up, busts through a wall. They've mentioned like he's
stealing his berry juice.
Essentially, Kong is all pissed off because this octopus is raiding his stash.
I mean, I'd be upset if my berry stash was getting ripped off.
So the octopus sucks on Kong's face for a while, and Kong throws a rock at him, and that's the end of that.
Kong kind of wears him like a hat.
And then Kong goes over, finds more of like a 6-pack of
the drug juice.
Yeah.
And goes to town.
They literally show him drinking like every single one of them.
And then just
then he gets
knocked out.
And then he party fouls and passes out.
Yeah. Kong in this movie has got to realize you can't be the first guy to go down. It's never good for you.
He gets high multiple times in this movie.
And every time he does, he finds himself tied to something.
Kong has a problem.
Kong, the first step is admitting you have a problem. And that you're powerless to overcome it by yourself.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Drink up.
Woo! The 12-step editor's note program. Step 1, listen to the podcast. Step 2, drink. Why are we drinking? Because we're in the podcast. Step 3, if you listen to the podcast, realize you don't need to drink because you're not two losers in some guy's basement drinking Coors Light and bottom shelf whiskey.
This is not quite bottom shelf.
Okay, like second tier shelf whiskey.
So they get Kong on a raft behind a boat, which I will give this movie a lot of credit for. Every other Kong movie, they just cut away.
And he's like in the hold of the ship or something.
No, nothing. They just cut away and he's like back in New York. This is the first time we've actually seen Kong transported somehow.
In the old movies.
Even the new ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we're about to have our 8th Kong movie, and they never show what happens. So it's just like, what's the line? Like, we'll have him up in Lights on Broadway. I'll share it with all of you. Like, Kong, the 8th wonder of the world. I was close. I'm not quite on to what the line was.
Well, close enough.
But then they just fade to black. Boom, New York.
And there he is. Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of dynamite on the raft with him.
But then
the government shows up. They're like, no, idiot, don't bring a monster.
But before the government shows up, You got the TV executive getting lowered by a
Oh
helicopter.
yeah, the little like wormy guy shows
Yeah.
up. He's like, "Aha, we did it, boys!"
Which, by the way, like I don't understand like how like the helicopter flies him out. Which all the miniature stuff in this is like hilarious. There's
Yeah.
some really good model miniatures, and then there's some really like
Not good models.
yeah, the helicopters not so good.
No.
But like the villages, not bad.
But he shows up, and then the government shows up. They're like, "Yeah, absolutely not. You're not bringing a monster to Japan."
But they're like making like a weird
We have
siren noise with the boat, which is catching up to the other boat really quickly.
and they basically say, "Turn around." But then Kong wakes up instead. So they're gonna blow him up with all the dynamite, and they try to, but it doesn't do anything. And Kong is just waist high in the ocean.
Which is impressive.
He's very tall in this
because
comparatively.
probably that part of the ocean is like 3 or 4 miles deep.
Yeah, I mean, Kong himself in the old movie was like maybe 25 feet tall. Like he could pick up a person. But Godzilla is as tall as a skyscraper, so
Yeah.
and also when it's two dudes in rubber suits. So his size has been greatly amplified.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Godzilla tearing through the countryside, destroys trains, but we find out he doesn't like electricity.
Yep.
Can we also point out that, like, with his atomic breath, when that helicopter, like, flew in front of the atomic breath?
He was just so annoyed. He's like,
Yeah, get out of my way.
helicopter.
No, that happens when they meet for the first time.
I think he does it twice. There's like two helicopters.
Yeah.
So he's just like, stop flying in front of me.
So,
I am a fire-breathing dinosaur.
so yeah, anyway, Kong just shows up on land.
Well, no, the news tells us that he's making a straight line to Godzilla because he can sense him,
His
and
presence.
this is some kind of monster rivalry.
So, they meet,
Flap their arms at each other.
yeah, which, by the way, Godzilla has the high ground.
Yes, he does. Kong throws a few rocks at him. Godzilla uses his atomic breath, and Kong just goes, "All right."
Well,
I'm
that's
not
because he
gonna
had his first inch. He threw a couple of rocks at
Yeah,
him.
he's like, "I'm not dealing with this," and then he just leaves.
He just got like, I'm gonna go destroy something else.
Yeah, he's like, "You know what? Whatever, man.
Yeah.
This isn't worth my time."
No. So,
Godzilla continues his rampage. Kong continues his rampage in another direction.
yeah. The people of Japan are like, what do we do? So they dig a giant ditch and fill it with gasoline and explosives.
Yep, and it doesn't work.
Nope.
Godzilla falls in their hole. It looks like an old Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah.
Or there's just like there's a hole and they've covered it with something that's like barely counts as covering.
But the amount of pollution.
I know, they just poured so much gasoline. And
But-
he gets away.
In like typical Godzilla fashion, because Godzilla was like to warn against the horrors of like using atomic energy and the atomic bomb. They mention using an atomic bomb all the time. Like, nope, it's not worth it. It will always be a last resource. There'll be another way to
The first
figure out.
Godzilla movie is a very serious, somber movie.
Yeah.
It's haunting.
About
It's just, like,
the horrors of atomic use.
yeah, and there's like this creepy ass children's choir. It's this whole thing. It's a good movie.
Anyway.
the first Godzilla movie is really good. By the third movie, we're already into super silly territory.
Yes.
But then we cut over to Kong, so they thought, let's blow up Godzilla. That will take care of him. For Kong, they're like, let's get him high.
Yeah, well, this is after they find out that King Kong, just randomly like, oh, King Kong, electricity gives him power.
No context for this, no reason they should know this. The news tells us.
Yes, the news tells us. Although
The
they did
United
say-
Nations news.
And they're like, oh, and Godzilla, he does not like electricity. No.
Thanks. Exposition news.
Yes.
So they just get King Kong high.
Yep.
Like
After he kills a ton of people in Tokyo.
so many people.
He stops a subway train full of refugees and empties out a car.
And then throws it into a building.
Yeah, not good.
But they get him high. They've apparently gotten this rare berry juice, put it into bomb form, shoot it over him. He inhales it.
In like 5 seconds, like, oh, we'll get some berry juice from our building, which is probably on the other side of a very destroyed Tokyo. We'll be right back. And like the military leaders in Japan were like, oh, yes, let's do what these two weird guys say.
Yeah, they just get him high.
Yeah.
And their plan is to make Kong and Godzilla fight because the military can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
For
up
some-
style.
For some reason, by the way, Godzilla's just gone over to Mount Fuji.
Why not? In the style of Pixar's Up, they get King Kong out of there with balloons.
I wonder how they get the cables underneath him.
Well, and this is the worst compositing of the movie. They have the soldiers in front of Kong, and you could literally see through them. I think they were ghosts, and they could carry it that way.
Probably just kind of float underneath him.
They were literally green see-through soldiers.
It was bad compositing.
It was very bad.
Again, remember, this movie was made for $200,000 US.
But then they fly Kong using balloons
To Mount Fuji.
and just let it rip.
What it's funny is they like blow up the balloons and drop him from like an unknown altitude, and he just like slides down Mount Fuji.
It falls into Godzilla. So he's, whoa, well, I guess we're fighting now because...
I'm here.
And you're there. Fisticuffs, sir.
By the way, this is like a great monster movie fight.
Oh my god.
It's hilarious.
The last 15 minutes, this isn't a boring movie up until this point. They do a pretty good job of keep like the action moving and just do something so stupid and ridiculous. It's enjoyable. There might be like a few like dead minutes here or there,
You're
but
like, oh, what's going on?
But overall, it goes at a pretty quick pace. But then the last 15 minutes are worth the price
Oh
of
my
admission
God.
because it is nonstop for 15 minutes.
I love that the guys are in the helicopter, like giving commentary. Godzilla's roasting King Kong.
Literally.
He's literally hitting him with atomic breath.
They just go at it, and they go at it in many ways as they can. They start off with some light rock throwing. King Kong is throwing...
Some light boulder, house-sized boulder chucking.
King Kong is throwing Godzilla around by his tail. Godzilla's whipping him back using his atomic breath, throwing King Kong down a mountainside. And then King Kong's unconscious, and he's just beating him with his tail.
Yeah, and so lightning strikes King Kong.
Because why not?
And then King Kong...
Multiple times.
King Kong has lightning power now.
Yeah, so not only does lightning make him stronger, he can effectively use it as a weapon. So he keeps hitting Godzilla and grabbing him. You can see the lightning shooting out of him.
My favorite part of the whole fight, though, King Kong rips a tree out of the ground, shoves it into Godzilla's mouth.
Like, just through the back of his throat.
And then Godzilla atomic breaths this thing back. It's a tree missile on fire. It's King Kong square in the chest.
And there's this one weird moment. I mean, the original Kong is all stop motion. There's one stop motion part in this where Godzilla drop kicks King Kong. I guess further down Mount Fuji. They destroy a bunch of homes that are on Mount Fuji for some reason.
Yes, because you want to live on the side of an active volcano.
Yeah, why not? And there's this weird scene where it looks like they're just two hand puppets. It's like really far away. And it looks like a children's puppet show where their arms and like their whole bodies are moving, their arms aren't moving, and they're just being like hit together.
They don't have any elbows.
It's amazing. And then they get to a big town at the base of Mount Fuji.
Mm-hmm. And in typical Godzilla fashion,
this is a Godzilla tradition.
The pagoda gets it.
Yeah, they end up standing on either side of a pagoda and punch their way through it. A pagoda going down is a time-honored Godzilla tradition, and it gets it worse than anything else in this movie.
Oh my goodness. And there's a lot of things that get destroyed, just wanton destruction. But this, like, the pagoda death scene is what I'm going to call this, is like a long projected, like, 90 seconds.
I was going to say, that was probably 2 minutes of them just punching through it.
And it's like parts of it falling down.
And then Kong tackles Godzilla in the water. This creates a massive earthquake. Like there's fissures in the ground.
Tsunami.
Water. Yeah. Like buildings are just falling into these giant holes that are created. And then King Kong just gets up. They're like, all right, he won.
And he just swims away.
And he's going to swim home. And they're like, and we also wish him luck. He killed so many people. He has destroyed massive swaths of Japan.
Yeah. I mean, wow. If for nothing else, the last 15 minutes are worth the movie.
I like the whole damn thing. On our rating system of see it in theaters, red box it, or don't waste your time.
Oh, red box it.
I say see it in theaters. It's fun.
It's good fun. If nothing else, at least see the fight at the end.
It's not boring, which a lot of like these monster movies, when you got to get through like the human stuff, it could be a real drag. This one it was just the right amount of dumb.
It was a quick 97 minutes.
It wasn't even 90. It was only 90.
94, 90, just, 94. Oh.
Just straight 90.
Oh. It was a quick 90 minutes.
Yeah. The human stuff isn't bad. It's dumb. It's really dumb.
It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a fun...
No, and for this series that was taking itself hyper seriously just 2 films ago, it has taken a quick turn down.
I mean, don't expect to see, like, tremendous, special effects. The costumes for Godzilla and King Kong are
Oh, the Kong one especially is awful.
Oh, Kong needs to get himself to the orthodontist, get his teeth straightened up a little bit.
And this is also before they kind of gone with the whole Godzilla's like a hero of the people kind of deal. So he's still a villain in this.
Yeah.
Not that Kong's really a hero in it.
No, there's no real hero. It's just action for action's sake.
Yeah.
I will say this about the movie, though, for like, for the special
I can't
effects
wait
are,
for 2020.
It's going to be really cool. But like the special effects are cheesy, and there's some really bad like cheesy model work, but there's some really outstanding model work for the time.
2020 one, I just want them to be like electricity makes him stronger.
I just want it to be
no
like
reason.
2 hours of these guys just brawling.
Which is why in the Kong movie that's coming up, why he's so huge already.
Yeah.
So he can stand toe-to-toe with Godzilla. Because otherwise, it'd be a quick fight.
Yes, it would be.
Just like swat that monkey away. It's like, meh. I don't need you, 25-foot tall monkey. I'm like 500 feet tall.
Well, there you go. King Kong versus Godzilla.
I say watch the hell out of this movie. It's good fun. I guess we'll move on to our next section of the show. Letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
Once again, going off the cuff.
Oh boy.
Real letter, real abridged by me. What is a comic book that you've always wanted to read but never gotten around to?
That's a good question.
I've never read Mouse. I've heard a million good things about it. I know that's like one of those top tier, you should absolutely read this. It's a World War II book, but with mice.
Ah.
It's supposed to be absolutely outstanding, like one of those literature good kind of comics. Never read it. Never gotten around to it. I will at some. It's one of those ones just because I'm so aware of it. I just never have.
Let's see. I don't know. A lot of Spider-Man stuff. I was a big Spider-Man fan, like when the Sam Raimi movies came out, but I never really got into reading the comic. So I'd probably say like some Spider-Man stuff.
Kraven's Last Hunt, the most popular Spider-Man story of all time.
Oh.
Originally supposed to be a Batman story, but they decided it was too dark for Batman.
So they gave it to Spider-Man?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's real dark.
Doesn't make any sense at all, actually. What do you mean too dark for Batman? Spider-Man isn't really supposed to be that dark either.
It's all about a villain who's trying to break Spider-Man, and once he's won, he's like, well, I won. My life's over. Or my purpose in life is over, so he just shoots himself in the head. He's like the ultimate victory Spider-Man.
I guess I don't need to read it now. Thanks.
Yeah. What a terrible gun and suicide noise.
That was, yeah.
No good.
No, I don't think that in general is good.
Yeah, it's a dark story, but it's really good. If you want to watch a man get broken and buried alive and forced to go crazy on hallucinogens, get shot, and then
the guy
have his wife turn against him, and then the guy's like, bitch, I won. I have defeated the deadliest of preys.
There's nowhere to go but down from here.
I've peaked.
And now I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of getting revenge because I'm going to die.
Yeah. He's like, I'm the only one who can... You have to help prove that, like, the other side of this. So, ha-ha!
I'm going to finish undefeated.
Basically, yeah. He went out listening to Queen.
With a bang?
I was going to say We Are the Champions.
Oh, that too.
Well, that was a weird, dark ending to that show.
It was a weird, dark ending to everything. This was a dark show from start to finish.
Really just the start and the finish. The middle
was great.
It was pretty dumb. So next week, we'll be back.
Hopefully.
Couple of privileged white guys ready to tell you how to fix race relations in America.
Oh boy. We want people to listen to the podcast.
No, we're going to cover our first biographical book.
Ooh.
Compared to all of these nonfiction ones so far.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that the Watchmen book isn't real?
Christ, it might be at this point.
Are you telling me that the Civil War book isn't real?
Look.
Are you telling me there aren't like 6-foot turtles walking around Manhattan?
The doomsday clock at Watchmen isn't as close as it is in reality.
That's true. It got moved up, but it's like a minute and a half away from midnight. That's depressing. I was in a good mood till I came to your house today. Actually, I was in a good mood till we started the show. Godzilla cheered me up. I had some mac and cheese and, watched a couple of monsters fight and destroy parts of Tokyo and Japan, and now I just feel empty.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah. Hey, where can we find you?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot all that.
Yeah,
without my notes in front of me.
Good thing I'm here to
lost.
help you.
So where am I?
This is what we get for doing the podcast near midnight on a weeknight.
I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon. I guess, and my store.
Water Street in Hollowell.
Yep. and my website.
There you go.
I've had
Editorsnotecomics.com.
Yep. I had someone try and scam me out of that URL not too long ago.
What?
Oh, that happens. It's happened a lot since I started business. I've been sent so many like active scams.
How are they trying to scam you out of it? Like,
they try to send like the URL one was like, warning, like your domain name is up and you need to sign up with this new company so that you can maintain it. And it was a total bunch of crap.
yeah.
Like the number of like active scams I'm sent is insane. Or like, hi, we're calling from CMP. We're about to turn off your power unless you send us a bunch of money.
That's not how that works. They don't. That's not how they do it.
I am aware, yes.
Okay.
I didn't give them money.
Oh. Listen, just because it was my number that came up on your caller ID.
Well, because they're like, we're calling from like a remote office and we're letting you know this is happening. If you want to like correct it, we can't deal with it, but you call
This number.
and then you call it and it's the CMP prompt page.
Ah.
Or I've had ones that were like, you need to update all of your credit card information for this website. Like, I think it was through my the hosting site.
Oh.
And then no matter what you typed in as your password, it would bring you to the next page. And then like, now give us all your credit card information. I'm like, this feels wrong.
Yes.
Then I had to go change all my passwords. It was real annoying.
Yes. I feel like you're gonna get to the shop tomorrow and not have any electricity. Be like, it wasn't a scam all along.
Oh, that was forever ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's just not worth bringing up because it's literally become like a minor annoyance in my life. Like, who's trying to scam me this week? I've had so many blocked numbers from companies who are trying to scam me. I did one today.
Oh, hey Zach, your website, the name is up for grabs. I need some money, please. I'll take care of it for you for a small nominal fee.
For everyone who's listened to this far into the crap, we'll be back next week to cover the first of John Lewis's books, March.
I'm excited to read it.
It's really good. Yeah, no point talking about it now. We'll talk about it next week. See you then.
I'm at Junior Rich.
Oh yeah, and Twitter.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.